Here's what we're going to do. So come up with a way that you can make it clearly and measurably accountable for every single one of your team, because they need to have autonomy and authority, but you need to have given them clear definitions of what success looks like for their job. If you're doing these things, you're doing a good job. And honestly, for any one of the guys on site, for me, especially for my project managers or team leaders, but any of them, if they are performing their job and making me money, if that job is safe and we don't have any quality defects, I'm pretty fucking happy. Yeah, you can throw in things like, I want you to make the clients happy. In my experience, yes, at the smaller level with residential builders, where they would give us ongoing work, often the relationship was important. Once we got into bigger projects, they didn't give a fuck. The project managers were employees of bigger companies, and they were incentivized to deliver their project on time and on budget. They didn't care if we were rude to them. As long as we fucking delivered it for them on time and on budget, could call them a fucking stupid sod. I'm swearing a lot at the moment, I realise. Matty's going to be having me for this later. Falling back into my construction lingo. So be clear. If it is important, you can add a fourth or a fifth, but get clear, super clear, and make it concise. Here's what your job needs to be. Do these things to this level. Right? The worksheet just says, right, go back, make them shorter, make them clearer, make them simpler. You can't do that enough times. Honestly, you can't do that enough times. If you can go back and make it shorter and simpler, then it will be more effective. It will be more effective if you can make your KPIs for each of your team simpler and more effective, right? It goes on to how you'll measure it. When you see DRI, it's directly responsible individual. The thing to remember here is once you've got these set, fill out a table like this, right? The goal is to have them on time budget. Metric, directly responsible individual, is going to be whoever is responsible for making sure that those budget forms are submitted. So who's the directly responsible individual? Well, it could be the team leader. Are they filling out that time budget every day and sending it through? If you go, no, it's my offshore admin person, are they filling it out and sending it through? Great. Who is going to verify that? The verification will happen once a week. Either you, when you get to the point of having a supervisor, an ops manager, a construction manager, they go onto site. Don't just trust that they've said, yeah, we hit budget this week. At least once a week, worst once a fortnight, but ideally once a week, go in there and actually fucking check. You say you've done 80% of the walls. Have you? No. 60% of them are built and finished. Yes, the other 20% are up, but they're not fucking straightened. They're not braced off. You haven't got out the doors. They're not done. You have not done 80% of the walls. That's bullshit. You've done 67, whatever. It has to be verified. Trust but verify with everything you do all the time. Trust but verify. Who is responsible for communicating those to the team? Again, when this is you and 3 guys, or yourself and an apprentice, it's going to be you. As you grow, your directly responsible individual may change for each of these roles. If you get an offshore person, this is a great thing for them to be communicating to the team. If you've got a separate team running, the team leader on there, they are responsible for recording their hours against their time budget every day and sending them in. They are responsible for that. That's their metric and measure of success. They can be responsible each week for doing a full report for you to say, here's how I'm going. I've done 80% of the walls. I've used 75% of the hours. I'm on track and ahead of budget. You or your ops manager, whoever it is, if you're big enough to have that, are going to go on site regularly and verify that fact, that they are telling you they've used this many. I mean, the hours are easy. Take it off your app, your deputy or whatever, for your person offshore. They check that the hours that everyone signed are the same as the hours they put in their time budget for the day. That's a simple verification. And again, that should be on them. You need to verify for the time budget that what they're saying they've completed is actually complete to that level. Your offshore person can communicate that. Hey guys, here's a message. I'm going to text it to you. Awesome. Good work, team. You guys are ahead of budget. You guys are 5% behind. They need to know that. Communicate that to them regularly. Measure and communicate. Measure and communicate. They need to know, am I doing a good job or not? Whose responsibility is it to make that happen? And then how often does it happen? Because that's your rhythm. The frequency here is the rhythm. I'm going to communicate the results to each team, to each person on this rhythm. If it's an estimator who you want to do $1 million a month, it doesn't have to be daily. It might be monthly. You would still have a weekly meeting with them to see how they're going on stuff, but the frequency of, right, here's my metrics. If I look at an estimator who's got to do $1 million a month, that's their KPI. KPIs for them, by the way, like you've got a site manager who's going to want profitability, quality, and safety. Your estimator is going to be dollars quoted and accuracy. No point in them going and pushing out $1 million a month, but they've fucking cooked the accuracy because they haven't gone into it. So you're checking that the quotes are within plus or minus 4% of accuracy. So if I was to say, look at that one, because the dollars one's too easy to get into, how am I going to check the accuracy of my junior estimator? Well, my metric is plus or minus 5% of accuracy.